I wish I could do that. I wish I could do the eyes myself. I wish I could be like, I just turn my eyes. I mean, I can do it with effects. Don't get me wrong. I actually studied, computer graphics in grad school. Yeah, I actually did like I even did some PhD stuff in computer graphics. I'm actually pretty good, seriously, with lighting effects and so on, and stuff like that. So if I wasn't lazy enough and it wasn't like a live reaction and so on, I could turn my eyes into dark and be like, look at my eyes. I could have done it. I promise you guys. I actually did I actually wrote a paper about that, and I did like a how I say it. I wrote and I did like a lecture and stuff like that in postgraduate in PhD school, so to speak, about lighting effects, like reflective lighting effects. So basically, when you play a video game, right, if you walk into a forest, the light is actually a little greener. Like in real life, because even though of course light is just light from the sun, right, but it's a lot of there's a lot of trees, right, and leaves and so on. The light hitting you is actually somewhat slightly greener, right, because of all the leaves turning, because the light is transforming through the leaves, right, and hits you on your body to a little greener, like slightly greener and so on. And if you cross a volcano, the light is redder, right. So I actually worked on that, and I did like I wrote some shaders and fragments and stuff like that, and I wrote some code for computing that. So I'm seriously like a PhD guy when it comes to lighting effects. So I really wish, in one way, in that, I'm sorry, but it's a weird start, but I'm just really happy. Great day today, guys. I just had a really good, it's late today, but really good day, so I'm happy, right? And it also reminds me that if I wasn't so goddamn lazy and just doing live reactions and so on, I could do some really cool lighting effects. But that's one thing, though. And of course, we're all here to watch, of course, when they cry. And it's a really good anime, and I'm happy, really good day, right? And the anime is awesome, so, I just feel very happy. But I'm happy. I don't have to be afraid now, but I'm really happy. But when I say it, that how would I say it? Some people, right, they complain on doing reaction and so on, right? And Step, I had a comment last week because I keep discussing the storyline in Nana, right? Like, why don't you write your own stuff? Like, but I do. Like, I worked in many different stuff, right? I worked on like 30 games in my life. I think more like 40 games in my life. In like the game I released last year, I wrote the whole storyline. I wrote all the characters, all the narration, all the lore, I even wrote the dialogue. I wrote the voice lines. I even directed the voice actors with the voice line. I was like, do this sound. Oh, she's like an angry girl, and or you have a southern accent and so on. So I even directed the voice actors, and I wrote all the scripts and all of that stuff. So I'm already doing this stuff, right? So that's like an answer to that comment. I had comments every now and then, right? Because I like to, critique stuff, right? Is because I do this stuff already, right? I write stuff, I work on stuff, I do this effect stuff. I would love to do, cool effects here, right? But at the same time, I spend 8 hours, I probably work like about 10 hours a day, probably. I work a lot more than I think about doing. So I spend like, 10 or so hours every day working on that stuff, right? So I can do it pretty easily. I'm pretty good with that stuff. Like the game I released last year, I wrote every game mechanic, okay? I scripted every game mechanic. So I coded all of the units, everything from reversing magic effects to all the debuffs to the buffs to the different status effects and the different thing. And I also coded all the levels and everything myself. I didn't do the art though, right? I didn't do the actual art, but I did the actual logical for that stuff. And also doing the level design. So I was the lead game designer and also like kind of the lead programmer. so I do that stuff, right? So that story. So I'm just really good day today, and I don't know. I'll go into this rant now. But when I say that, it's a rant. But I just say that that's the comment to that, right? Like I could easily do this stuff, but I spend so much time, and here is when I relax, right, and watch anime with you guys. I'm just gonna have a nice anime time. Of course, today I just had a really good work day today now, so we're happy, right? Because sometimes work is bad, sometimes work is great, right? So, but anyway, sorry for the long intro, but. I don't know. I just felt genuinely very, very happy, given that I was very correct. The thing is that I shouldn't say too much here, but I analyzed something over this weekend, and I told another guy that I work like a bank thing. It's a long story. Basically, I told this guy, and so not only was I right there, I was right in the whole thing, and so sometimes I do really good, right, and then that effect. It spreads, right? If I do this thing very correctly and I can tell other people and I can expand that because of my work, right, they can also really benefit from that, right? Like for example, 2 weeks ago, I helped my brother with something, right, with work, and then I had to have him in that stuff, and that made him also, have a really good day, so to speak. Right? So I'm like, man, so today feels really good because I was right, I called something out right, and then made other people. So it was like really, anyway, so really, really good day. I was really happy, and sometimes I do wish I was spending 10 hours a day doing. Anime content, right? So obviously, I love doing this stuff, and I love to be able to, how I say it, do it full time. Right? I would love to be like a full time YouTuber. I would love to, but at the same time, obviously, I already work at least 8 hours a day, probably a lot more, right? I work like 10. I think I can easily do like 12-hour work days probably because I'm my own company, right? And I have worked in other companies, I'm consulting and so on. I have like 4 jobs, and I work of course on Saturday and I work every day, and. But I think it was the same thing. This is a short life story here, but I remember I was in my thesis. It's many years ago. I'm an old man. I wrote my thesis, guys, about video games, right? I wrote my thesis about human behavior, game design, and particularly with combat and role-playing games. So I have a paper about it. So you read papers if you want to find. I have a paper about it, and so I have 3 papers about that. But anyway, I read a book about it, and basically what I would do then. Not for a storyline, but how I would live is that I woke up like 6 in the morning. I woke up in the morning, and when I wrote my the results right in the paper and so on, I woke up in the morning at 6 or half 6 or so, and I would sit and work at the computer immediately. It's work. Well, I would write to like 6-7 hours, right, to like 12, 1 or so. Then I would go out, I would exercise, I would go to the gym or run and so on for like an hour. And then I would go home. And then I would work for yet another probably 6 or 7 or so hours. So I would easily write for like 12, 13 hours every day. And then when I've done that, I'll play some video games and go to bed, and I will do the same thing again. So I did that for like 3 months. So I've always been that guy that's like I can easily work like 12 plus hours a day easily. And like when my last job is before the pandemic, I had a very long commute there. So before I got home, so I could do like this kind of reaction, right? I would actually have time to go home again after work. I would have to, it's a 1.5 hour commute there, and it doesn't have to have a car because it's like I'm living at the opposite of the city, so it's like the worst place ever to work it from location wise for me. So I would go up at like 5 every morning, guys. Seriously, I haven't told much, but I would up 5 every morning, so I could be at work at like 7 or so, or maybe early 7, right? Then I could leave work at like 3 or half 4 and so on, depending on the day, and then I could get home here so I can do this reaction stuff and so on. So I would, so I would get like 6, 7, 5 and so on, so I could be here. And I would go to we have a gym at the work, so I would go and, so I wouldn't take, instead of having lunch break, eating food, I would then exercise 1 hour at every lunch break at the office, which was good. So I could go home, do reaction like this now, and then I could eat and so on after. I only eat once a day though, so it's a problem. I only eat once a day because time and efficiency and so on, and I can drop my fat one. But anyway, time to do anime. Long intro, but I don't know. I'm just, very, very happy today. Very good day, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't really care about negative comments that much. I usually mainly just laugh at it. But I think they have that kind of comments like, oh, why don't you do your own stuff? It's like, I do. I spend freaking, I work like 10 hours a day, at least every day. So so then when I love anime, right? I love anime, I love manga. I used to do One Piece manga, really good chapter. I love doing stuff, right? My favorite character is in the manga. It's a good character. Love the character so much. And it's just, but it's, I would love to do separate YouTube, 10. If I was a full-time YouTuber, I would easily spend, 12 hours a day doing stuff, right, or doing high content videos or Twitch streaming. I don't know, but of course, at the same time, it's like, I have like 2 jobs, right, and it's whatever, right, But yeah, it's a difference. Anyway, long intro. Let's watch some anime, guys. What's my theories then? I'm too happy now to watch a horror anime. So it's perfect because I'm coming in here being all giggly. Yeah, it's like, oh, they're gonna die now. God damn it. but no, man, I'm just like, god damn it. I feel like a teenage girl now. What's gonna happen? I think that the couple is already dead, right? Now we're talking anime. Yeah, the couple is already dead. They're clearly already killed, right? They seem to, the nurse seems to always want to figure out what's happening, right? So it explains why they died in last time loop too, because they're always going for them. Seems to be the thing, right? They're always going for them. So she's gonna die every time, right? Because she's trying to, of course, discover what's happened to these, the damn people, the people that work in The damned people, yeah. So that's one thing, right? She's always gonna get screwed over for that. So that explains that thing. It seems to be very clear that it's probably connected to either Shion or Myon, right? Their people, the kind of the family, kind of the tribal thing, right? That they're going out and taking people, right, that are trying to like change the village, layout and so on. And of course they seem to keep killing those people, right? They're involved in that. So the nurse then trying to like discover the mystery and who's the murderer. She of course is the victim every time, so that makes sense. So they're probably already dead. But then we had the whole moment there when he was like, you already failed, right? So I think that she seems to be like, oh, you already failed this time loop, so you just go and die or something. And what I think is going to happen, right, given they're talking about Demon Blood and so on, is that, as I said already a part back, I think that all the villagers will come, right, and can attack him. And I think that's going to happen. Yeah, I think this is going to happen, right? But instead of this being one angry girl, it's going to be probably the whole village killing him, right? So it's going to be like a zombie invasion kind of thing. He's going to fight all the villagers, and of course, but they are better than zombies because they have intelligence. So it's like a hive mind thing. It's going to be bad for him. But anyway, log into it. Start watching it. 3, 2, 1, and go. Yeah, long intro, but I felt giggly all happily. But I don't know. I don't really care about experiments so much. But I feel that it's when I had that epiphany, man, I could do some really cool, I could do some really cool effects like this, right? Yeah, I could do some really cool effects if I wanted to, right? But then I also would have to spend so many hours doing these videos, and actually I can't do it live though. It's hard when you have to post processes. No, I could do it live. What I can do is that I could make like a gifting. I could craft like a 3D effect gifting, and I could pop it on my eyes, and maybe it could track it. But I would need to run on the system for doing it. Whatever. But maybe I could do something similar to this thing, or some effect. Maybe I could do that a little bit. Sorry. But anyway, anime time. Yeah, what did you do to her? It's like, she was the one who scared me! It's like, what, did you hurt Rika shot? But no, she hurt me! She's the mean one. I was being nice to her. Everyone's like, yeah, you hurt Rika. No, she hurt me! Okay, another person. Maybe her sister. It wasn't Keiichi-san? Could have been Keiichi-san then. Ooh, construction people, eh? Well, I think Rika is the one doing it, right? Or at least partially. Let's see what happens. No opening? I think they're skipping the opening. I don't know. I'm gonna assume skip the opening actually. Because I was trying to find the Rika then. Oh, that thing doesn't look very nice. And they're kind of zooming in on the... yeah, they're zooming in on the... Maybe someone, crisp her up a bit. I don't know, but when they zoom into that stuff, it looks very suspicious. Okay, so you enter in like a dark little... What is it actually? Some kind of locked door? What is even that? Some kind of storage facility? Yeah, what is even that? What was it that? No, okay, nothing here. Maybe you can see down into the storage though. Oh, she's like... Oh yeah, I mean, I felt it looks like a trap. She's like, get up on the ladder, boy. This seems very much like a trap here. Yeah, she was breathing weird. It's like eyes turning into demonic blood eyes. She was kind of weird earlier. She put this ladder. I think she can put a ladder. What's happening? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Her eyes are green instead of fitting her color, her eye color. I mean, they all have different crazy eyes, right? Three great families. Interesting. Who would be the other? Okay, she's getting her... He should jump off the ladder to the roof or something. Jump off, jump off into the roof or something. You can climb down later. Maybe she's fighting the question. Man, this is an intense scene here. He should really jump off the ladder, I feel. Like jump up to the roof. Just climb up, man. Or climb down perhaps. Do something at least. Just... Well, it might be a cute rom-com when you fast on her here. Whoa, this is intense. Most intense ladder scene ever. Oh yeah, let's get that out of it. But yeah, it's like... But man, he should do something. Either you quickly climb up, right, and you get up on this roof, you can just climb down from the roof, it's not that high up. Or you climb down and like calm down the woman, you jump on her. I mean, he should have done the rom-com thing and falling on her face, right, and getting the smushy thing. And landing on her oppa or something. If it was a rom-com, that would happen, right, yeah. Of course, she would usually be the one climbing there, and he would be the crazy one falling. But still, he should have done something. He's really bad at playing this, like, sick love here. He's such a... She did blame him though, but I don't know if it's his fault necessarily. But well, those people over there look like constructive workers though. They look like constructive workers in the... They clearly look like constructive workers. Or something like that, but something like that. He missed a dance, but it feels like he did more than that though. When he entered the house, of course, seeing all the tools. Yes, blame the girl. Here we go, blame the girl then. Blame the girl. Yeah, even if it's her fault though. It's her fault though. Of course now. This is weird too when you're calling him, because that was one of the sisters, right? And he's like, who am I talking to? Is it this one or is it the other one? It's like, there's also a weird thing with his twins in this arc here, in this current time loop here. So it's like, hello? They see immediately, who is it, your one or is it the other one? Yeah, it's like, maybe I don't know. Or is it the other one? He's like, come over here. It's like, who is telling me to come over here? This sounds bad too. Come over to our family house, right? With our father and like the family. The CGI. It was a CGI watermill. Okay, I throwing it out there. It was CGI. Yeah, of course he's nervous because she almost, like, I don't know, trimmed off the ladder earlier. See, I feel in a normal anime, this would be like, oh, nice, we're gonna get some plot, we're gonna get some nice, romantic, she's kind of like my girlfriend, I date her sister as well too, oh, here we're gonna go into her home, meet her in her, her cute little mansion, the rich, Hime-chan. But now it's like, your place? I don't know why we visit your place. And especially now when it's like all of this weird barbed wire and like... I mean, yes, they're a rich family, I suppose, but it looks super suspicious that the family has to kind of like... It's like it looks very, how to say it... like a little tiny castle, I guess, with a moat or whatever. Like my family castle doesn't have that stuff. Yeah, we used to have like a normal castle, right? We used to drive up there. It's just a mansion. We don't have any weird stuff around it, right? We're a nice family, And she's like, I'm taking a bet. So it's a weird anime because I keep thinking it's like a romance. I mean, I'm just, it's like, of course they obviously won't have any fun plot, so to speak. But I mean, if it wasn't the whole weirdness of her trying to throw him off the ladder or so on, you could expect it to have. And actually, I say this thing here though. If you've seen a lot of other horror animes, obviously it's horror anime. So usually horror animes, they do have more, fun with body parts, right? Because horror animes are usually 18 plus, 20, mature 20 plus, right? Or 18 plus, whatever. but in Japan 20 is when you are legally. So they do also have a lot more fun time in the plot harmony. For example, if you've seen, I don't know, Goi, okay, you Goi. There's like a weird. Goi has a really weird plot scene, really weird plot scene. And I mean, otherwise it's a horror that has been dive fishes, but it's a really weird plot scene. Talk about it later in the review, but it's a really weird plot scene in Goi. Super crazy. Like it's just the main girl just enters and they are doing it. Her best friend are doing two guys, and she's like, "What? This is really weird." Then they get killed by some sharks. It's really. So I mean, that's horror anime for you, right? But anyway, I don't think this anime is gonna happen. Of course, I don't think the anime is gonna happen here, but it is quite strange how there's like a romantic filter on this episode here. He's coming to her place. She's like, "I'm gonna take a shower. See, I'm on your side." See, this is feels that this could be a lot. They can have, that they're gonna do the business here. It feels like she's gonna let's go to my bedroom and have some fun, right? And then they get killed. Am I the only one thing that could happen still? I don't know. Yes, I have to kill you now. I feel this is very tricky. I mean, her sister is weird. Or if it's her, whatever she is, right? The sister, whatever she actually is. I mean, she might just be the sister, but it also is like, man, it's really strange. Yes, that's cool. So, Okay, yeah. Yeah, why do we kill people every year? It's like, why do you keep doing it? Yeah, and well, that's right. Questionable coincidence, but okay. Well, the rest might kill people because they want to kill them, that's true. They might be like, it's fun to eat humans. It might be like that. It might just be like a bad situation and more people are doing it because they're blaming it on, oh, we have to kill them because they are against us, right? It might be a thing. I don't know. But if the thing is true, if they also might be demons, right? If that is true, given that it's like a time loop, so we know magic. This anime clearly has magic. It is, to some extent, right? Supernatural is existing in this world, right? So there might be demons. I mean, the story about them having demon blood might be true. It really might be, right? It also might be completely. Oh man, this is gonna be some dead. This is gonna be some weird thing now. She's showing him like the family's tools, right? And it's like probably bodies or blood or something, or. Here they're taking everyone that, of course, broke. Here he has questioned them. So her family is like, yeah, I guess they're grabbing the people that, like the builders and so on. Who are the other families then? The three great families. Are the other girls? Okay, so they lost the influence. Yeah, for good. They were put away. So sure they were. Sure, yeah, I believe that. Man, there's gonna be some crazy stuff here now in the basement. Yeah, there's gonna be some crazy stuff now in the basement, guys. They're gonna come into here, right? We have all this torture and we have all these tools. There's gonna be some Iron Maidens and it's gonna go berserk on us. Yeah, so they have all this weird, some kind of chain thing. There's a classic horse thing. A cross, I guess. You can like cruise it, yeah. There's a bed inside there. Of course, the rich family has this basement. Of course, the rich family has the basement. And also like a straight up prison cave thing. They have a lot of money in this family. They have, yeah, what is this place? They have like this huge cave with like these prison cells. Maybe the nurse is here. Maybe because, I mean, in fact, she lied earlier about the nurse, right? She was like, oh, the nurse took a car and left the city. It's like, yeah, right. So maybe the nurse is in the cave, right? Okay. Yeah, I'll give him. Like, more down here. I'll give him. How big is this place? Like a city down here. There's a freaking underground. This is a kind of like mystery underground abandoned civilization down here. It's a phone. Why would I have a phone for? Man, that's no Parasite now. Man, everyone, watch Parasite. Parasite is a fantastic movie. It really is a fantastic movie. I mean, I think she's probably gonna put them into the... Exactly, she's probably gonna imprison him, right? Exactly, it feels like he's being tricked and following her into the... Why would he... Man, don't go into the prison, man. Don't enter the cell now! You're an idiot! You say he's not there! Don't say it! Don't close the door! What a moron. This is how you die in horror movies. Never follow down a girl into this torture chamber and be like, can you look into the door? Oh, you're in there. Man, what an idiot. What an idiot. Oh, what do you mean? Pfft, yeah, it's like immediately push them into... come on, man. Don't go close to the prison cell. Never enter the... I mean, she might claim that, but there also might be that she returns later and of course get stabby. This is the least safe place in the whole city. In the actual prison cell with all the weapons. This feels like the absolutely worst safe place in the whole place. How can he tell people he's in the freaking prison cell? She locked him in the freaking basement of the... Like the... He's in like the basement of the basement too. It's like, you know, several basements too. It's like basement of the basement. I have no idea how he will escape this thing. Man, yeah, he's he was really stupid entering the going into it being, what do you mean, man? It's like, come on, you never get close to the door like that. That is like noob mistake, man, to survive horror. Well, obviously her family is very evil. She seems to be honest about this thing, right? She actually wants to help people. But she also might be lying. I don't know. Maybe she's fooling him, right? I'm just like, is she actually trying to help him and people, or is she just tricking him to then, of course, return and kill him later? Yeah, 83. Good old days. Okay, so she's the... Why would her sister be the heir? I don't know. I mean, it's like, I am the leader of the family. It's like, why would she be the heir? What would... I'm just throwing it out there, but interesting too, right? Why would she be the... And of course she meant her uncle, right? So, where's her uncle in the prison? Oh yeah, he gave me that doll. That doll looked super scary. Am I the only one that saw that doll? I was like, man, it's a horror doll. Yeah, it's like, what happened with that doll? Yeah. See? She loves him! She's genuinely, see, this is gonna be a rom-com, I told you guys. How do you end the tradition then? See, it's an actual rom-com. This is like this is a weird rom-com. It's just a little, you know, little special rom-com situation. Okay, she's gonna fight them now? What's happening? Man, she's like, oh, Moshiron! Like, what's happening? I have to greet my guests? Like, what's happening? She's like, oh, I'm gonna fight them? It's like, oh, she has like guns and shit? What's happening? She's like ready with weapons shit. What? Which is a real gun. She's the freaking, you know, head of the... She's the high heroist of the family with all the power and weapon shit. This could take a while. Who's he gonna fight? What's happening in the episode? She's like, oh, I will take care of them. It's like, what? And the cops are probably working for the, you know, yeah, exactly. He seems to be kind of a weird part of their inner circle, right? Or inner circle, but you know what I mean, like, yeah. So, yeah, the cops probably is unreliable. Who is he gonna tell? I don't know who's gonna like, enter this place and be like, hey, why is the boy in the prison? They're probably gonna kill him when they see him, right? They're gonna be like, oh, so she let you in? Yeah, they're gonna just stab him, right, when they find him. They're not gonna listen to him. They're probably gonna kill him when they find him down there. If someone comes down there and find him, right, they're just gonna take him and offer him too, right? Oh man, this is really stupid. It's gonna just start to ram the door. It is really stupid. Well, how did it work? What? It's a crappy prison, isn't it shit? It worked? How? I was like, seriously, I was like, how bad is it? It hit like 4 times. I would have first, checked out, maybe I can... This prison is horrible. He just ran the door. He's not even a big guy. How did he just destroy the prison board like that? And yeah, now he's super bleeding here because... Okay, that looks even more dumber now. He's like killing himself by jumping into the door. This guy is not the smartest guy. It's like, next time loop, you died by jumping into a door. It's like, how the hell... Now, this is making sense. You would usually stop if you're starting dying from jumping into a door. You would be like, actually, maybe I should stop jumping into the door now. That's usually what happens when you do that, right? But okay, so what happened now? Did she die fighting some other people? Man, this is a weird ending here. He's finding the doll, which is super scary. That doll is like the scariest thing in the whole anime. It reminds me of an X-Files episode. So this time he almost died by a door. How the hell did he keep... I guess it worked once, I guess. But who was she fighting then? What happened? She killed the village? What happened? How did they actually find him down there? How did they find the prison? It seems to be suspicious. How did they find prison? Wait, is that well? Well, of course it, because it's like a gigantic castle prison thing. It's like a freaking... it's a whole game down there. Yeah, what is happening down there? Oh, it's like a secret escape path, probably. Oh, okay, of course it's full of dead bodies there. Well, it's either a lot of bodies or it's... Oh, she killed the rest of the family? Well, I guess she's like, if I kill the other one in my bad family, that will take care of the issue, right? If I murder my family. Yeah, that's like, if she kills the rest of them. But did she kill Rika too? Maybe she did. But also might be the constructed. I mean, we saw the constructed people on her video on the camera, so... Yeah, that seems that she was in there, right? However, that's why she stopped him from entering. Okay. Did she kill them then? Some kind of... Well, I mean, she probably knows that she has to kill the other girls, right? Because of the whole curse thing, she have to kill them all. She probably killed her family then. It's a really confusing ending. I guess she just killed them all because she said, I have to end it. It's a confusing ending. I guess she killed them all to try to end the curse. Well, she probably killed them all, but... Yeah, so in the well is a lot of bodies down there. It's like a murder-suicide thing, but I don't know. It seems that Myrmonden murdered everyone, definitely. She got them all. The final solution is to just get them all right. And that sounds really weird too. Like, was she trying to protect me from herself? Yeah, it's like, what how did she... Oof. Huh. That's a lot to think about. That's a lot of... I'm just trying to... Come on, here we go. So perplexing ending, I feel. A perplexing ending, right? We're talking about here, of course, now. And the review part here is going to be a bit longer. I was like, man, she's killed them all. I'm not overly surprised that she went for that. I'm not overly surprised that she went for the final solution, right? What if I just kill everyone else? Then they can't kill other people. And she went cray and just got them all, right? And how I say it? She took care of business to protect him and the rest of the. You know, she went into a little how I say it, dark mode. Yeah, she went into a little a dark room there. The final solution. But it seems strange because there are a couple of things that make any sense, right? So of course, the more you watch the anime, you're probably gonna get more explanations. The more we know, right? A few episodes probably gonna explain it better. So there are a couple of things here that doesn't make any sense, right? And probably later. So for example, as he said himself, like, wait, why was she locking me in if she's the murderer? Right? Yeah, that immediately doesn't make any sense. Like, why is she imprisoning him and protecting him from something if she's the actual serial killer? It doesn't make any sense. Like, why, if she's a serial killer, she just have to protect him from the other ones. That being said, though, she is arguing that she's killing her like parents, so on, her sister, because they are the serial killers, right? So in that sense, though, well, I guess that, yeah, okay, yeah, like it's true. She could still be the serial killer, right? This year, killing everyone this year, but in her aspect, in her perspective, right, she believes her family has killed people the other years. So by killing them this year, she's protecting him, and that's why she's locking him in to hide him away from her family. But it's a really bad hiding place. So I guess in that sense, you could see that she still is a serial killer, and they actually just kill him. The thing though that makes it weird, right, is that she clearly was looking at the monitor, and she clearly saw people coming from the camera. So these video cameras were clearly recording some kind of constructive workers, right? And she mentioned that she saw them talking to Rika earlier. That of course could be a lie because she was the one that killed Rika. So that makes it a little strange, because if she wasn't the one that said that, but she saw them there, right? And then went out and fought them, I guess. But he didn't mention that she had killed anyone else except these people. So it could just be. The thing is that it could just be her being insane, right? What if she didn't actually see any people like that? What if they actually wasn't on the camera and she never saw, of course, Rika talking to anyone before she just killed Rika, and then, oh, I was like constructive guys there, right? Oh, I saw them. So it could also be her being insane, like there actually were no one on the monitor. But that, to me, it is strange to know, because we are seeing it from the viewer aspect. So from my aspect, we are watching them on the camera, right? Because we are not seeing it from her eyes, we are seeing it from our eyes, so to speak, right? Like, so, I don't know, you can discuss that, right? But I think that's seems a little strange, because it wasn't like her perspective when we saw the cameras. We saw kind of, I mean, arguably it was, but it's kind of like generally we are seeing her seeing it on the camera. It's like a third perspective, right? So I don't know, it's a little bit, was she delusional? But we saw it too, right? The anime did show us people. But that is strange. That is really strange. But anyway, she killed them all this time then, and got the other girls because they're connected to these three families and so on, right? He talked about three great families and the heritage from like the demon blood and so on. So that makes sense, right? Killed her sister and so on to, you know, get rid of her cursed family. But let's go back a bit and talk about the family, right? So the family, of course, as one could expect, right, given the previous episode and so on, the family is the one basically, yeah, kidnap people, right? Not necessarily, maybe yes or no, maybe they kidnapped everyone these last years, but at least in history-wise, they have had this prison, right, and this these chambers to take people, right, and offer them and so on. So they will clearly be doing this for a long time. So it makes sense that she would hate her family, right? Because her father probably showed her like, oh, look at our family. It's like a nice, family tradition, right? To go after and go a little high wire on tourists and so on, right? So it's a little bit like, yeah, maybe she generally wanted to kill her family, right? Because clearly her family is some kind of murderous sect. So yeah, that makes sense, I suppose, from that aspect. But there's a couple of things though I want to mention here that is really displaying with the family anyway. Like generally we didn't see her parents, we didn't get to see them really and what they actually are doing or actively, what her sister knew and so on. Of course, there's a lot of mystery plots remaining here, right? Definitely. But I guess they had that well where everyone's thrown into, I suppose, the sister at least. But we haven't seen much of her yet though, little Ojou-sama. But she clearly went and killed her too, so it's important to kill her. She's probably part of the last family. I want to throw it out, right? So, Ojou-sama, the do a little Ojou-sama. She's probably the third family, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the anime has mentioned that yet, who the three families are. But obviously her family, one, Rika, and so on. But she's probably the third family. So otherwise, we could kill her, right? So that's probably how she was the victim, right? Because she's the last family member of the. She's the higher of the older family, right? They haven't said that yet. She might be the next loop, right? Might be the character next. I think about it again though, is that it's actually not even her eyes that are seeing this thing, right? It's actually Kiichi. He's the one leaving. He went out, from the prison, right? He sees this guy. So so there has to be actually people there. He also might be crazy though, delusional. Like in the last arc, he might be crazy. But still, all that being said though, one thing though that I was thinking about, of course, mentioned there too, is that she mentioned an uncle, right? She was like, my uncle has this basement thing. So, and then a police guy is like, oh yeah, she killed the whole family. It was clearly her fault. These people are probably real, right? And the uncle is probably real. So maybe the uncle killed them all, right? To get the power of the family. If he, of course, kills his brother, I suppose it's his brother, and he might also be, of course, his sister, but let's assume it's the uncle, whatever, doesn't matter. He kills his, whatever, sibling and the spouse, and then he kills the two daughters, right? He is now in control. He might be working with these people, right? And of course the cop might be lying because, of course, this family owns the village. So the cop might be working for the uncle, right? So I think that's probably the most reasonable explanation why the cop would lie otherwise. Because of course he could be lying about everything. Maybe she didn't kill them at all. Or maybe it was actually the family, right? Because this in here, we clearly see that people are coming after her, right? In the family and so on. But then still, why would he cop not just... It's still somewhat strange that the cops or whatever, or these people would just kill him though. The cops find him, but they didn't. Well, it could be this thing though. If the uncle wants them dead, right? He doesn't care about him too much because the goal of these people and so on, and the cops, of course, hide evidence, is to kill the branch, kind of the people in the branch in the family, right? Kind of get the branch to be the main, and then having him being told that she was crazy, he's kind of like a witness. She was crazy, and it can be utilized that to, of course, further their gain, right? Blaming her for everything. So in that sense, he might want to make him stay alive, so he can be like, oh, you saw my niece, she was insane, right? So we can like testify on that. So in that sense, I guess, But I would definitely think that the cop is lying, right? They're clearly here, so maybe she didn't kill them, or maybe she did. It's like, yeah, maybe she did. The final solution, maybe she did kill them all. I still wouldn't be surprising me if she actually did kill them though. At least I feel that she killed, the other family members, right? And she was the one that got. She's the one that also mentioned that scene there. There's a confusing ending. Yeah, there's a lot of mystery here. Doesn't really answer any questions. But the thing that we can know for sure is that the family has been killing people for a long time, right? Necessarily the family hasn't killed these last people, like the nurses and so on, but at least they were doing it earlier, right? So it's clear this kind of blood demon backstory is true to some extent. Even if these are demons, they at least have been killing and probably eating humans and so on. That has to be true. So the general backstory of the village, that the village is some kind of crazy cultist. That is true. Yeah, this is clearly a cult in the village. But necessarily though, right? Maybe the family isn't the current cult leader though, right? Given maybe the uncle is, but given like these people here, her family might not necessarily be the actual people killing the nurse or so on, right? But these people might be doing it, right? It's like a general cultist in generally in the village. But I still think that the uncle then, her uncle, she mentioned him briefly. He, I would guess, is the cult leader. I think that would make sense. He's a family head, right? He could become the third leader. I think the uncle did it, right? That's my review, guys. That's my theory. I think the uncle did it. That to me makes more sense. He has the power. He has the connections. He might be a lot more, how to say it, traditional. He cares about the old traditions of the family, and he wants to follow the old footsteps of their ancestors and so on. So he's probably, I haven't seen the uncle, but that seems to be the most likelihood thing, because if they're all dead, he has the power of the family, and the cops would work with him, right? And he might control these people. But yeah, that's my theory, guys. Yeah, leave a comment below, of course. Now, yeah, but don't spoil, of course. But don't say if I'm right or wrong. But leave a comment below. Press the like button, right? And I'll see you guys tomorrow with the course of anime. Of course, it's Friday tomorrow, so we have huge amount of anime. We have Elena. We have of course. Kaisen, we have Dalmatian and so on. Friday is also full of many shows. So I'll see you guys and have a great